Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Friday, February 7th. It is 6:20 right now. We got market opening up in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. Good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Go down to the 4 hour. Go down to the 2 hour. Down to the 1 hour. Looks like the NFP spike today kind of knocked out a lot of the, a lot of the lingering liquidity here. We'll see what's left. All right, back down to the 1 minute here. And it looks like we are good to go. So we got liquidity sitting right here at 49,915. Another one right here, 45,919. These are probably going to get hit pre-market, but I'm marking them up anyways. Lower level right here, 887, 859, 772, and up here at 950. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, February 7th. It is 6:24 right now. We got market opening up in about 6 minutes. I marked up liquidity here. Closest level of liquidity is above at 915, 919. Lower level right here is at 877 and 859. These might get hit pre-market. We might get some pre-market volatility here as we get closer to market open. I'm going to go over here to the market structure bias chart. I'm going to see if there's been some movement since. So see, we got market closing or closing over here. Spike right here before it closed yesterday. All right, so looking at the market structure bias, this below where price is currently sitting, this pink box is where market was closed yesterday. So this is yesterday's close high, and obviously yesterday's close low down here. We typically want price to stay out of this box for market to stay efficient. If it goes in the box, it's going to be inefficient because it's going to be in the same place where it was yesterday. So we typically want it to be outside of this area. So we want it to be above or below. Ideally, right here, obviously above because price is, really closer to the upside than it is to the downside. So we'll probably be looking for some buys today. With that said, we'll be looking over here for the breakout. Breakout looks like it's possibly going to be a buy, but we'll see what happens here in the next few minutes if we do get a buy signal here shortly. Looking over here at the clean chart, we do have a bit of structure here. So we got structure right there. Structure down here. And down the middle here. So we'll see what happens here when market opens up. This is NFP right here. Obviously, you guys can see the huge red candle. It's the NFP candle from this morning. See if there's. All right, we had NFP right there. We had the Fed speaking right here at 6:25. Fed just started speaking. We have more news at 7 o'clock, which is Michigan consumer sentiment. We got Michigan consumer sentiment at 7 o'clock. Color that blue. And we got the Fed speaking at 7:30. Otherwise, buyers have been in control here. Since about 5:28. So I think I see the buyers here who've been in control for a while. Possible sellers swinging back right here, but I mean, we'll kind of see what happens here when market opens up. We actually got some consolidation going on here, it looks like. All right, we'll see what happens here shortly. We got market opening up in about 2 minutes. Breakout is looking like a possible sell, actually. I'm not taking the breakout, but we'll follow it. Morning, Lila. Morning, Christian. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, we got market opening up in about 50 seconds. The breakout for today is going to be a sell. If you guys are looking to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm not going to be taking it myself. As I said, I'm waiting for market here to kind of give me a better idea of like the consistency. Right now, the consistency is still kind of all over the place. So for me personally, I'm just not really looking to take these breakouts yet. Price is currently at the sessions. It's coming down a little bit. If this candle closes too big, then you're supposed to flip it the other way. So if it closes more than 50 points, technically you're supposed to flip it the other way. Not looking like it's pushing 50 points, so it's going to be a sell for today, guys. So if you guys are taking the breakout, I'll put this up right here. And there goes the breakout, currently running in profit. Put the 50-point mark here in case you guys want to pull out for 50 points. And we'll come back and take a look at that shortly. So the breakout's pushing in profit right here. 50-point mark's going to be right here, right above the session. Going back to our main chart here, so price broke below. From what I see here, the sellers are technically trying to be in control from this point here. So right here, I can see there's a double wick rejection. It's a reversal pattern to the downside. There's no other confirmations, but that's all I can see for right now. This is opening price. Price pretty much knocked down, grab the liquidity down below. So these two levels of liquidity got knocked out. The 877, 859. So this one right here is done with. Take it off. This one over here also got hit. And this one up here also got hit as well. So I'll just move this a little higher. Target's still there. And I'll just move this one a little lower. Still a target right there as well. Volatility is extremely low right now, guys, for NFP. It's currently 15 ATR. This is very, very low for a high news day. Especially, specifically NFP. So high news day NFP, volatility is very low. It shouldn't be at 15 right now. It should be like closer to like 25, 30, maybe even 40. Typically on NFP, it's usually pretty high because price comes back and it tries to fill, whatever movement happened after NFP, like price pushed up. So typically it'll try to come back and fill back down this area, but it just has not. There's just not very much movement. Put it at that. The ATR is very low. Hey, Sam, morning. All right, we got price kind of just sitting around here, sitting around opening price. It's pulling back into this range here. So we don't have any other confirmations of the sellers being in control at the moment. Price has pretty much been consolidating around this area. At this very moment, the sellers are trying to be in control. I'm looking at the time and sales right now. It's pretty mixed. So it's not really one-sided at all. But you can see your price is trying to pull back into this consolidation range. So we got that. There's an engulfing candle here. So if this candle closes green, it's going to eat this red candle, and this might be a pushback to the upside. So the buyers might be back in control from here. I mean, it's hard to tell right here, but at this very moment, that's kind of what it's looking like, right?
Connection lost.
And I don't know what's up with NinjaTrader. I just got my connection lost again. You guys remember that from yesterday. I don't know if anybody else has having the same issue, but for some reason this week, NinjaTrader has been disconnecting a lot. I got trapped in a position yesterday and it kind of threw me off. It was just one account who got trapped, but for the most part, it's not a good feeling to have your connection lost like that. So I'll keep an eye out for this here. I'm hoping it's not going to happen again. It's kind of annoying when it does. But I guess we'll see what happens here next. All right, so there's still nothing going on, guys. Price is still kind of sitting right here in the consolidation area. Here's a clean chart. You can see this is a consolidation zone right here down the middle. Nothing's really going on here. Just going sideways. There's the SR chart. There's not too much going on here. All right, so we got price coming back down right now. Buyers are definitely not in control at this point. Sellers are still trying to push price down, which is good. It's in the direction of our breakout. Obviously we don't want to fade our breakout. We want price to come down. Ideally, we want price to keep moving in this direction. We want to keep going down further and further. So price is pushing down right here. Let's see what we got. So right here, actually on the opening candle, this was a entry for an MPSB2, it looks like. I mean, it was at the sessions. Obviously, I wouldn't mess with it, but right there at the sessions. All right, 50 points hit here for the breakout. If you guys are holding on to it, it's pushing down lower to its full TP, 100 points. Yeah, CJ said NinjaTrader's trying to give us a heart attack. I know. It always throws me off when it says, connection lost. Let me check real quick. I want to see which account had the connection loss. So it was actually one of the live accounts that I have, one of the hedge clients, which I think he's back on here. Let me see. Yeah, like disconnected it, then I reconnected it. Christian said headed into sessions minefield. Yeah. We have sessions right here, sessions down here. It's not the best area to be looking for entries, of course. Solange said fake out Friday and NFP. I'm good with 50. Thanks, bro. Yeah, so Solange locked in 50 points here for the breakout. He's pretty much wrapped it up for the day. So nice work right there. Breakout for this week hit pretty decent. Yeah, breakout for this week has been hitting pretty decently. Looks like it is 2 wins and 2 losses, but 2 wins for 100 points. So obviously it's in profit a little more. There's gonna be 3 wins here once it hits 100 points here for another win. Breakout's still running. Pushing down to its TP right there. No scalps for me to take here yet, but keep looking. Those price drops below. Let's leave that structure there. Star zone down here. So price pretty much pushed down and then it filled the NFP move. So the NFP moves down here, price kind of pushed up a little bit, then it came back for the retest in this area. So we have another engulfing candle right here. This might be the buyers trying to get back in control. Looking at the time it sells, there's a lot of buy orders coming in here, so this might be the pushback to the upside. Candle's closing in about 13 seconds. Looks like it's probably going to pull back or try to pull back into the range. It's down here. All right, so we got a pretty strong engulfing candle right here. As you guys can see, I had the buyers in control right here from 529 up until here. 619 price pushed back down. I'm looking over here actually. Looks like the sellers might have been pushing price down since over here. It's a double body rejection from this point. This is a high point. So the sellers have actually been pushing price down since 6 o'clock. Price push up right here from 530 from the NFP news. Then price has been dropping since. It consolidated, but then it ended up coming back down further. And then right here, it looks like the buyers might be back in control. So looking for a couple more confluences here. Yeah, price is pushing back. Looks like it's probably going to try to push back into the range right here. It's basically came down, faked out, grabbed liquidity, pull back into the range. You guys might want to be a little careful with your entries. I'll just extend this out a little bit so you guys can see it's a break and retest of this area. Let's see, Christian said, seeing that huge NFP wick on the upside, I believe price will try to get people who put their stop loss there. But we'll wait until our setup shows up. Yeah, same here. I'm just being patient. Not forcing anything here. It is NFP, guys. Today's like probably the most manipulated day out of the week. So you just, you got to keep that in mind when you guys are trading on a day like this. For one, it's Friday. For two, it's NFP. I mean, you guys can see the crazy movement here. You guys can see the consolidation. So price, it's either going to be a break and retest of this area, or it's going to be a fake out and pull back into the range. So there's a couple different scenarios here that can play out. That's why I'm like being very cautious about my entries. I mean, there's no buy signal here yet anyway, so it's nothing there. The sellers might be back in control here. If the this red candle closes is a big red candle, this could be another engulfing to the downside. So reversal to the upside, reversal to the downside. So like I said, if this candle here closes and it didn't, it almost did, but it did not. So nothing right there. Aiden's asking, is session at 8:35? Yeah, that's correct. It is at 8:35 right here. 44, 8:35. That is the London low. All right, so this buy signal here. Here's another confluence for a buy to be in control. So looking at this here, this is a buy signal. It's also engulfing. So we're getting two engulfings here. This is a good sign for buyers. So engulfing right here. Another engulfing right there, right? The only problem is we got a bunch of red flags right here. So I need price to push above this area and, stay above this area, of course. So we got two engulfings here. Engulfing right here, this indicates reversal to the upside. Engulfing right here, continuation to the upside. The buyers have been in control since 6:36, so about maybe 10 minutes or so almost. So again, we want price to push above this area. We don't want price to stay below here. We want it to push above it. But there's red flags here. I can't trade right here because we have opening price and we have the Asia high. So what I want to see here is I want price to push up, retrace maybe right here, come back further, and then take my entry up here. All right. So let's get this push up a little higher. There's no other red flags up there, so I want price to come up and knock out these liquidity targets. All right, guys, so breakout is swinging back up right here. I mean, it didn't hit the full 100 points, but it did hit the 50 points here. So if you guys took that for 50-50, looks like you would have been out right there already. All right, like I said, I want this to push up a little higher because I don't like this area where it's currently sitting. I don't want to trade in this red flag area. So I'm hoping this candle closes green. I don't want the retracement to happen yet. It's too early. Looking over here at the time and sale, it's going to be tough for the buyers to push up because we do have a lot of sellers in the market pushing price back down. All right, we got a lot of buyers starting to flood in right here, so this is a good sign. We want the buyers to push up because I do want this to push up higher. I'm not ready for the retracement yet. Let's keep going a little higher. I want to get out of this area of consolidation. I want to get out of this area of range. Christian said double rejection hit 101, but it was on a red flag. Yeah, I know it sucks. I want price to stay above this area. As long as it stays above the session right there, it's going to be a good sign. All right, we're getting the retracement here. I don't want the retracement to happen here. I want this candle to close green. Unfortunately, okay. So this is a tough situation. Tough situation because the retracement happened at this point. The problem with this here for me is that it's at a red flag. So I mean, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take the MPS V2 here because it just doesn't meet my criteria. I'm sticking to my game plan here. No red flags for me. So if the candle closes green, this is going to be an MPS V2. I guess I can mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to be taking the trade. The reason I'm not taking it is because this area right here is considered a red flag. This is where a lot of manipulation happens. You guys can see over here, price got manipulated around this purple line pretty much for the past hour, right? Price pushed up here, consolidated around this area, just went back and forth, no direction, and then it ended up breaking out this way. So for me personally, I'm not looking to take any trade here. Even if it does retrace down and comes back up, I'm not going to look for the trade there because it is in the middle of a red flag area at this point. Hey, Brock, looks like you joined just in time. The setup here for the MPS is setting up, but it's right at these red flags, area obviously not the trade at, to between the sessions and the opening price right here. Not a good area to be trading in. All right, this candle is closing green, so this is going to be an MPS V2 entry right here, guys. I'm not taking it, like I said, but if you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys there. It's in between these red flags. It's just not a good area right here to be trading in. If you guys want to take it, I marked it up right there. It's currently active, running in profit. Hopefully it pushes up and just blasts through this area to hit its TP, but I'm not going to take that risk today. It is NFP and it is Friday. So it was like 2 risky days in one. Mondays and Fridays are typically kind of risky because people are entering the market on Monday and people are exiting the market on Friday for the weekend. Also on top of that, it is NFP, so expect a lot of crazy movement or unusual movement here for the day. Hey, Brock, morning. So we got this MPS V2 running right now, Brock. It's at a red flag though, so I didn't take it. Buy signal right here. There's 2 confluences. Like the confluences were great. I was hoping this would push up a little higher. We had an engulfing right here, both reversal patterns. Buyers have been in control since 636. Right here again, we had a push up, retracement, and confirmation right here for an MPS V2. It's currently running in profit, but you can see here price is having trouble really pushing or having some volatility because it's at this red flag area where price tends to get manipulated. Also, the ATR is very low right now. It's currently at 1920. It's not extremely low, but it is very low for the most part. Hey, Lamar, morning. Yeah, Brock said Us almost take it. Yeah, I wanted price to push up here, Brock. So I was hoping price would push up a little higher and then have our entry up here in this open area, not at the sessions, but it didn't push that far. The volatility is just a little too weak. So you can see this trade is running, but it's running very slow. And you can see this consolidation zone. This consolidation zone is actually, I mean, it's been running for a long time. Price has been in this same consolidation since 540. So it's been about an hour now, over an hour actually, where price is consolidated between this middle area. All right, so we got price pushing up right here. It's on its way to its TP. Yeah, Brox is slow, but I think they'll take out the new highs. Yeah, too much liquidity seated over there. Yeah, exactly. So full TP right there, guys. If anybody took that entry there for the MPS V2, it like barely hit it, and then it came back down. The volatility here is just very low, but it did hit full TP right there for anybody who decided to take it. And I'm surprised the volatility is so low right now for an NFP day. It's really low. It's like 19. It's below 20. These are like summer market conditions. It's just I don't know what's up with the market today or this week in general. So this has kind of been the recurring theme for this week. If you guys have been following my live sessions, we've been marking up, consolidation zones. Yesterday moved pretty directional, but it was still consolidating a lot as well. So liquidity over here is getting knocked out. First level of liquidity right there knocked out. You have another one right here got knocked out as well. Two levels of liquidity right there getting knocked out. If you guys are just joining, so there's two entries that came up for the day. We had the breakout that came up over here, hit 50 points. And then we had this MPSV2 come up as well. Also hit full TP right there. A lot of inefficiency today. Looks like I'm looking at these inside bars. Like there was a momentum reversal that didn't fill here. Momentum reversal that didn't fill here either. Momentum reversal didn't fill there. It's a lot of stuff. Christian said, I will need a break of that structure to the upside and a closed sell signal. Yeah. Brock said take a speculative buy to the news high, trailing it close. Nice. Nice work, Brock. Looks like you still locked in a little bit on that. All right. So one question I got yesterday was from Lamar. He was asking me if I'm scrapping the micro scalp. So the micro scalp I think still works pretty well, guys. The only problem is that I can't copy it across like 40 accounts. The slippage is just really bad, and the execution time is tough to handle. So I'm not going to be taking the micro scalp. I mean, I think it's still a good strategy. I might take it on just like one account and just kind of run through that. Connection lost. For the most part, I'm not going to take it on the regular because I just can't take it across like 40 accounts. It's just there's too much risk involved, especially if I'm trading the hedge accounts. Let's see, I got disconnected again. Let's see. Disconnected and it reconnected, so we're back. I don't know what's up with Ninja Trader this week. I don't know if it's the weather. It's like raining here in California. It never rains here. This is like something that used to happen a while back. If you guys remember, like during the cold season, for some reason, I don't know if it's the internet connection or something like that. But during the cold season, for some reason, I would always get disconnected. It happened with like FTMO back then too on MC4. Like whenever we got into the winter, for some reason, it would just always disconnect. Today I had two disconnects already. They're all on live accounts too. They're not on Apex or any of the prop accounts. All right, so we got price kind of just sitting here again. The ATR is just getting lower, guys. So the volatility is getting lower and lower as we speak. Surprisingly, it looks like price here again. It's having trouble getting past the consolidation zone. It's finally breaking out of it though. So there's a consolidation zone right there on the clean chart too, as you can see. All right, price is finally breaking out of this area. This is a good sign. We want price to be out of this area. This area here is not a good area for price to be sitting because obviously it makes market inefficient. You can see over here on the market structure bias, price is finally breaking out of this pink box, which is what we wanted. Price is now pushing up higher. All right, let's see if this holds. I don't know if this will hold. This might be, one of those things where price fakes out again like it did over here. You got the consolidation right here. Price came down, grabbed liquidity, shot up. I don't know if this is just grabbing liquidity and then coming back down. Two different scenarios here that may happen. So price is climbing up. It may climb up higher, or the other scenario is price comes up, grabs liquidity, and it comes back down. We got news here at 7 o'clock. It's high impact news. Michigan consumer sentiment is forecasted to be neutral. Yeah, Christian said, yep, saw a lot of stop losses hanging out there. Yeah, right here with the liquidity sitting. All right, so the sellers never came back in control here. We had the engulfing candle here, engulfing candle here. I don't see any other reversal patterns on either side. We got price still pushing up right here. No reversal patterns here yet, so I don't see any double bodies. I don't see any double wicks. I don't see any engulfing. So the buyers are still in control here. They've been pushing up price in 636 here where I have this green line. If I do see a reversal pattern, I'll mark up a red line there, of course, to identify the sellers may be back in control or they might be retracing price. So looking over here at the time of sales, it's pretty efficient right now. We're getting buys and sells on both sides. It's not really one-sided. We're having a lot of sells that are starting to come in right now over these past couple seconds. Not a ton, but there's more sellers than buys here, of course. With that said, it might just be the buyers offloading positions. So it doesn't mean that the sellers are in control. This could just be the buyers who made money on this bullish push, and they're now waiting for price to, or they're getting rid of their positions and then possibly buying the dip again lower. Right? Because that's usually what happens. Price will sell off a little bit, let price lower a little further. And if you see another engulfing candle to the upside, probably another bullish push back higher. The thing with this here is that we have a liquidity right here. It's not established yet, but let's mark it up there. And then we have a higher one up here at the sessions. So we'll keep following it here. Let's take a look at the overall trend bias. So looking over here on the 4-hour, it's bullish. 1 hour bullish, 30-minute bullish, 10-minute bullish, 5-minute bullish, 1-minute bullish. So we have an overall bullish bias with regard to the trend across all the higher time frames and all the lower time frames. So we're probably going to keep looking for buys here. I mean, our bias for today was bullish anyways with regard to market structure bias. So bullish bias, trend bias is bullish. And right now the momentum is also bullish. We have a ton of sells here that just flooded in. That's crazy. I just saw this. I'm looking at the time and sales and I don't know what happened, but there was like there's a ton of sell orders that just flooded in. Oh, it's news. Okay, that's why. Sorry. I forgot we had news here at 7 o'clock. So this is a huge, huge candle right here, guys, the news. Yeah, this thing is monster. This is why I don't trade news. Michigan consumer sentiment was very negative. Yeah, that's a huge candle. Whoever was chasing these buys here would have gone pretty much destroyed. Let me see what time these sellers came in. So they came in on the dot, like exactly at 7 o'clock. These sell orders just came in super heavy. There's about like, that's crazy. They dropped like maybe 60 contracts, but like all in one contracts. So let's see here if the sellers continue to push price lower. There's a lot of sell orders that are still coming in, so that's a huge dump. Take this off. How big was that drop? Let's see. Geez, 184 points in like seconds. Yep. Lamar said, wow, that wasn't even a red folder, just orange. I think it was red on my end. Yeah, it was red on my end over here for Michigan Consumer Center. I mean, it doesn't have that big of an impact though. So typically it doesn't have that big of an impact, but I mean, you can never predict news. Like it has a decent move, but I don't think like a 200-point move would have been the case here. It's all good. So now that we have this, I actually like when the market spikes for news because at this point, now that market is spiked, I can look at the time and sales and we can look for two things, right? Either price is going to keep dropping in that direction or price is going to correct back up. So we want price to spike on news. It just hasn't really spiked like this in a long time. Usually it's like an anticlimactic move. It's like a small candle and then all of a sudden it starts to move later. But I like when it spikes like this because now we have some sort of we have some sort of movement and we can kind of predict two things, like is price going to continue or is price going to flip the other way? So yeah, Sam said always love a non-spiky one-sided news. Yeah, same here. When it goes one way, because now we can just wait to see what happens here next. Christian said, I think that candle or Sean said the ATR was low, right? Nice, Sam. So Sam took the sell there and he's trailing his sell. So we'll see what happens here. I don't see the sellers, or actually, no, okay, I take that back. I was gonna say I don't see the sellers back in control, but this candle here, the news candle, wasn't engulfing. So this here was engulfing. So I'll put a red bar right here. This will show you that the sellers are currently in control from this point. We had an engulfing candle right here on the news candle. And I guess we'll just kind of see what happens here next. I'm just gonna leave the consolidation right here. I'm not gonna stretch it out any further. All right, we got a sell signal right here. The problem with the sell signal again is that we're at the same red flag from earlier. So we are back at the red flag here. Huge spike right here. It's back into the area from earlier. Again, this is the reason why you want to be careful on NFP. Stuff like this happens. I mean, if you look at this, price kind of just spiked around the NFP candle. So see this right here, price came up, spiked the NFP top, price came down, spiked the NFP bottom. This big candle right here is the NFP candle. Nice. Sounds like he's done for the month. Yeah, bro, I'm assuming you locked in a killing on that. All right, so we got the liquidity target right here getting touched. Price is coming down here, grabbing this lower liquidity. Let's see if the sell signal here closes. If the sell signal closes, we might have an MPS to the downside. The only problem here is that this is extremely overextended. From this high point down to here, this is a 222 point drop. Pretty huge drop right there. The ETR is huge now. It's currently at 38 now, so it's back up. That sell signal is not closing. Or it might right here as an invalid. Okay, perfect. So we have price pushing back up. It's an invalid sell signal. Let's kind of see what happens here next. Well, all the liquidity here got pretty much knocked out for the most part. All liquidity marked up this morning. All right, let's see what happens here next. So we got this candle here kind of pushing up. It's like kind of stuck here at the sessions, which we don't really want to be trading at. Ideally, I'd like it to stay below so that the next candle doesn't necessarily touch it. All right, so this might be an NPS V2 right here, guys. This candle closes below the this black line right here. This is an NPS V2. We can't have it come up and touch the sessions. So if it touches the sessions, it's going to invalidate it, and it touched the sessions there. So this is now considered a red flag. Man, that would have been a good setup too if it didn't come up and touch it. So if you guys want to take this, I'll mark it up for you guys. Brock, this is a red flag here, so obviously I'm not going to take it. If you guys want to take it though, feel free to take it. This candle has to close below this black line. If it doesn't close below the black line, there's no entry. So it's not closing below. No entry there yet. Keep following it. Yeah, Brock said not for me. Not for me either. So we'll see what happens here if price continues to obviously move along. This looks like it might be a new consolidation area. But we'll follow it here. It's messy NFP today. So the thing with NFP, well, this whole week has been kind of messy if you guys have been following. The thing with NFP is that it typically it's either going to be really good, it's going to be really bad, or it's going to be really choppy. For this month, it's been super, super choppy. So basically every day was choppy except for yesterday. Yesterday's more directional, but we usually don't get this huge chop for NFP. Like you might get a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of range, but typically, price will push down. Like for example, here, price will get like this big spike right here for NFP, and then usually it'll like recover and just go the opposite way, or it'll come back down, fill it, and then just continue dropping that way, right? But if you look at the charts here, so here's the NFP candle. You guys can see that. I mean, realistically, price hasn't really gone anywhere. It's just been in this huge, messy range. Like this is such a messy range here for NFP. Typically, like when we get this big spike here for NFP, price will either correct up and then just keep going to the upside, or it'll come up pre-market and then come down and just keep dropping lower. Right? Not like this where price goes up, consolidates, grabs liquidity, comes up, grabs liquidity up here, it comes back down, and then comes back up. It's it's not a good setup. Or not even a setup, it's not good market conditions. So let's see this over here. It looks like we got an engulfing candle here. So we got an engulfing green candle here. This indicates that the buyers might be back in control from this point. So I'm gonna put a green line there. So we got a green line right here. Price pushed up a little bit, retraced on this candle, and then pushed up from here. That was the engulfing. If this here drops back lower, it's going to invalidate it, which it looks like it's going to right here. Samson, I'm going to be honest. I was in a buy and a sell in another. Not that I knew the direction. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you get lucky like that, right? Like I used to trade news before too. Like when news would report something, I would do the opposite. So, I mean, I'm glad it worked out for you, Sam. For me though, I've been burned by, well, I've gotten lucky with news a good amount of times, and I've gotten burned by news a lot of times. So I don't even bother with news anymore. Um, I just stay away from it in general. I mean, but there's a lot of ways where you can get lucky. Like, I used to trade news to flip eval accounts. Like you can pass an eval with like one trade if you choose the right direction for the news. But also like for this specific news event for Michigan consumer sentiment, it usually doesn't spike like this. Like a 200-point spike is huge for like this thing spiked more than it did for NFP. Like that's how crazy it was, right? NFP over here, if you measure the NFP candle, this thing only pushed 178 points. NFP is like the huge news event. Michigan consumer sentiment over here, this thing spiked more, 184 points. So it's a very unusual spike for this to happen. Like I wasn't expecting this to happen. I don't think anybody was. But this thing did spike 184 points. It moved more than it did for NFP. So I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes market does that, or sometimes they try to shake out the. What I can see here from like you guys can see how price range back and forth. They're basically shaking out traders in both directions because there's no way you could have like this is really hard to predict, right? That price was going to swing up this way 100 points or 200 points and then swing right back down 200 points because right here price pushed up. So price pushed down first. Well, actually pushed up and down. Market open here. Price pushed down 100 points, pushed up 100 points. That means the buyers and sellers both could have been shaken out. When price pushed up here and it dropped from this point on open, it dropped 100 points, right? So they probably shaked out the buyers. And then at this point, the sellers who are chasing it, there's a lot of fear in the market. And then right here, pushed up again another 159 points. The sellers would have gone shaken out. And then this news over here again dropped another 200 points. And then it just shakes out people in both directions. That's why for me, I'm just sitting out of the market. Like, I'm not making profit, but I'm also not making losses. But people are getting shaken out in both directions. So obviously, it's a little bit of a mess here. The MPSV2 came up right here on this big red candle, guys. I'm not sure if anybody decided to take it. I'll mark it up for you guys here. Looks like it would have gone stopped out. So, I mean, it's a good thing we didn't take it there. The candles here are just moving a little too crazy. So just looking at this here, the sellers are still in control. Looks like they never really lost control at this point. So we had an engulfing right here. We had another engulfing right here. Engulfing, sellers in control. I mean, if you wanted to take the sell there from that engulfing candle, you could have. Would have dropped further. So this goes back to what we were talking about. Christian's been like in my DM lately. We've been talking about this. Christian's like been saying like, these double confirmations are nice because they typically do push a little further. So I would have taken this double engulfing right here actually. And this here, you could have held on to it maybe until the liquidity down below. I mean, it's a little too late for entry at this point for me specifically. But if I do see another engulfing or a V1 variation from the upside, I can probably take it down, as a discretionary trade, is basically because we're following these reversal patterns to the downside. There was one right here. This is a reversal for a sell. This is a continuation for a sell. And we're kind of just following the continuations until price reaches the target here, which is liquidity. Right? This is kind of where we're expecting price to go. So like if we get another engulfing right here, this could probably push down further to reach the target goal of liquidity down below. Nice. Christian actually caught that. He took it for 1,000. So solid work right there, Christian. Yeah, if you get an idea, like, Christian has an idea here and you start to see these confluences and stuff like that, feel free to take a trade. If you feel confident about it, then, take it. So yeah, Christian over here locked in 1,050 off that. I mean, I might be okay with taking this too if it closes below this line here. This would be an engulfing following the other engulfing. Probably drop down lower from that point. It's got to for sure close below it though. So let's see if this closes, and I'll take this here for engulfing.
Order submitted.
So we got price coming down right here.
Order submitted.
This would be 714.
Order filled.
TP right there, amount. Quick little move in and out quickly. So I got that right there, guys. Like I said, you can take discretionary trades like this. We had 3 confirmations here for engulfing. Played out perfect. I could have held on to it longer, but like I said, it's NFP, so I'm not going to take that unnecessary risk. But this right here, reversal, continuation, and then we have a target down here. The target's down here, so this is where I'm expecting price to go. Barack said, was in it with you, rode on your faith right there. Yeah, I mean, it's just confidences, right? So like the more confidences you have, you can just keep riding this down lower. Because price is going to retrace a little bit. If it eats it down, it's going to keep dropping even lower. So let me just make sure all my accounts here are good. Okay, no errors. I hope not. Yeah, we're good. All right, so we'll keep looking again for another opportunity here. But yeah, so I'm just using basic reversal patterns here. I mean, the strategy was basically just confluence with engulfing. Nice work, Lamar. Yeah, Lamar said just caught 45 ticks on my Apex eval, biggest trade this week. Nice work, Lamar. Yeah, and then again, you can look for another confluence here. So I'm just looking for another confluence. There's no NPS. I mean, there's no retracement. We would have to get some sort of retracement candle here for us to have that NPS V2. But I'm just finding these confluences here. Like I'm just using basic price action, right? It's the same price action patterns that I typically look for these reversals. Look for double body, double wick, engulfing, stuff like that. So I mean, it looks like price here might kind of just hang out for a little bit. We might even see another engulfing here. Or if we see an engulfing the other way, so this is an engulfing the other way. Now this is a reversal pattern to the upside. This green candle is eating this red one. So with this being the case, this might indicate that the buyers might be back in control or they're trying to be back in control here. So at this point here, price might be pushing back to the upside. Nice work, Christian. Here's Christian's markups. He had the engulfing, took that entry right there. Nice win on that trade, Christian. Yeah, your profits are probably looking really nice right now, Christian, after that. Let's see. So we got Christian's initial profits right here. Then we got Barack's profits right here. I'll screenshot my profits shortly too. All right, so we got Christian here. He locked in 1,050. We got Barack here. He locked in 3,524. I will mark up mine here as well. Go over here real quick. Just gonna mark up the breakout. So we have 3 back-to-back wins so far for the day. Not bad. Partial for the breakout. 50 points. And then obviously my scalps over here. Let me just clean this up. I don't want too much of a mess here. Let me just take stuff out of the way. Okay, I don't see any reversals back to the downside. If we do get a reversal back to the downside, I'll possibly look for another, opportunity for entry. But I don't see any double body, double wicks, any of that stuff here. So let's hold off of that at this very moment. I'm gonna screenshot my actual screen so that we can, You can see my entry points. Still looking for entries, guys. I'm not done yet. This way you guys can see my actual markups right there or the actual entry points for my trade there. All right. So for this right here, there was two entries that came up. It was a momentum pullback scalp, and then the other one was a for 20 points on that one. So I'm not gonna jam it up. All right, there's still nothing going on here right now. We do have the buyers trying to get in control. Price swung up. We had an engulfing candle here. Price is starting to push up a little higher. So if that's the case, that's fine. I mean, we'll keep looking for entries here, but right now we're just we're trying to figure out who's in control.
Connection lost.
I've got another connection lost for some reason. Let's see. It throws me off when I get that connection lost thing. Okay, I think the accounts are fine. Anyways, let me screenshot the accounts here. So start with so we got the buyers trying to get in control here. They haven't really reached their destination yet, but we'll you know, obviously we're gonna follow. Let me post up my profits real quick. All right, my profits are posted. So I took just that one trade right there, the engulfing continuation. And you can see over here from my screenshot, that's where my trade happened. Here are my profits. So I locked in about 525 across these accounts right here. Per account, 400. I mean, they're all kind of different. So let's see, I'm gonna say it's an estimate of like, so here's the other accounts. I'm just gonna estimate it to like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. We'll just say about 19,000 for the day. Because obviously 525. I mean, just, you know, basic math, 525, 25, 20. And then on top of that, I had the other accounts as well. So about like, we'll say about like 15-ish thousand profits for the day across all my accounts. I'm still looking for one more trade though. So I'm not done trading it. We'll see if I can find another one here, but it's kind of where I'm at so far. Took one full TP there. And trying to see what happens here next. That's not bad for NFP. I mean, I'm being conservative today anyways. So it looks like we're just like in consolidation at this point now. So let me go over here and I'll just Yeah, so we've got this right here, prices consolidating. And then we have this consolidation. That's kind of just where price is at right now. The buyers are trying to get in control, but they're not really having much luck pushing price back up. So the sellers might come back and control back to the downside. We'll have to see. If this candle closes as a big, or it doesn't have to be big, but it has to be bigger than this red one. If it closes bigger than this red one, then we may have confirmation here that the buyers may push price up higher. We have an engulfing right here. And if this closes a little bit bigger, this could be another engulfing. But it's not going to. Or maybe. It's like on the same exact bar. So we might have two engulfings right there. If that's the case, then that's a nice confluence for a push to the upside. Buyers might be back in control. Let me take a look at the time and sales. The buyers are pushing price up. I mean, they're starting to flood in a little bit. There's not a lot, but they are starting to push some buy orders in the market here right now. I mean, it wouldn't matter too much. Price is still stuck within this consolidation zone. We got news here at 7:30. It is it's not news, but it's the Fed. So we got Fed Goolsby speaking, and we had Fed Kugler speaking at 9 o'clock. So you do have the Fed speaking here at 7:30. Yeah, Barack said NPS V2, but there's a red flag of their session. Yeah, exactly. So there's another NPS V2 setting up right here, guys. It actually just closed, so it's currently active right now running. If anybody is looking to, obviously take the position, I'm not gonna recommend it because we are at the red flag. There's a session right here, but this is an NPS V2. Yeah, Christian said trading manager Kodi is proud of Sean. Momentum reversal, but too close to news. Let's see what their momentum reversal was. Gotcha, okay. So yeah, momentum reversal right there, but did not get filled. So you guys can see here, there's a lot of entries that are coming up, but they're just not getting filled for the most part. Like we are looking for momentum reversals, but there's either red flags or they're just not getting filled. For the most part, they're just not getting filled. Yeah, I mean it's kind of expected. We were expecting the market to be moving kind of weird for NFP, but not necessarily like this. Yeah, Sam's a good one, Sean, for NFP. It's all gifts. Yeah, I know, right? Any wins for today is good because the thing is, I know there's a lot of people out there blowing accounts for NFP. Like that's a fact. I think most accounts get blown during, and I'm gonna take this off, guys. I'm not in a position. But it's a fact that like NFP is like one of the days where you see a ton of people get their accounts blown. I mean, you probably might have been one of those people. I've been one of those people as well, where I've traded NFP and I just, I got a little too overly confident, saw the high volatility, and then you take one wrong direction and price just spikes the other way. It's yeah, it's tricky, super tricky. All right, so we got the Fed speaking right now. We have a sell signal here. Price is in this consolidation zone. I don't see any, let's see, I don't see any reversal patterns to the downside. If I do see one, I'll mark up a red bar here. And that's probably where the sellers are going to be back in control, but I don't see any confirmations here yet. Oh yeah, okay, so we got a double wick right here. Thanks, Aiden. So we do have a double wick right here. It's not a V1 pattern at a high, but it is a double wick. So with that said, Aiden is correct, and we do have the reversal starting from up here. Sort of reversal. I don't know if the confluences here are going to fit my criteria though, but we do have that double wick. So this doesn't necessarily mean it's a strong reversal. It's just showing that, okay, there is a double wick there. So price didn't meet at that point and had trouble coming down. The good thing with this here is that the double wick happened at this resistance point, the resistance of the consolidation zone. So with that said, this might be the start of price pushing back down further. Ideally, what I'd like to see here is I actually would like price to kind of move around a bit and then come down. Like not an immediate drop, push, drop. But I would be okay with it kind of like bouncing around a little bit and then eventually coming down hard at some point later on. If you guys want to take this as an NPSB2, this is an NPSB2 setting up here. If the candle closes below this black line, it's got to be like for sure close though, right? You don't want to be in that same position that I got caught in earlier this week where it wasn't a for sure. Brock, you thinking about taking it over here? I'll be taking this if it closes. It looks like it's going to be engulfing. All right. So we got this coming down right here.
Order submitted.
Let's see, TP would be at 710. Down a little further. Oh crap, I accidentally closed out of it. Shit, my bad.
Order filled.
Accidentally closed out of that position right there. I accidentally misclicked. So if you guys are still in it, I mean, it's still running. I accidentally closed out of the position. I literally misclicked it. I was trying to adjust the TP stop loss and I accidentally closed. I hit the flatten all button. See if I can maybe, I'm not gonna get back into it. I already screwed up with the position there. Oh, it's actually a good thing I pulled out. So I don't know if you guys held on to it or if not, but I was adjusting my TP and I got out right here. It was only off by like a few points. So let me see my profit so far. I don't know how that even happened. Okay, well, I got it right there real quick. I got out at it's only off by like a few points. So let me draw this. Let me just save this for you guys real quick. And I'll screenshot my profits. How much more profit did I make on that? Decent amount. For some reason on the hedge accounts, I'm still like slightly in the red. I think it's because of the commissions and fees. Let me take a screenshot of the actual screen here so you can see my entry point. Man, I got lucky on that one. I actually pulled out just in time before it swung up. That entry came super quickly. All right, so I got out at like 18 points, which was basically at the full TP part mark. That was really, really quick thinking on my end. Accidentally all positions, adjusting my TP. So there you go with that one right there. Luckily, I got out of that just in time. And I guess I can screenshot my profits here again one more time. All right, so I locked in a little more. On that there. Okay, so here are my updated profits. This was a position I took. I got out like luckily exactly before it reversed to the upside. Accidentally hit flat and all instead of adjusting my TP. So that's what I locked in right there. And here are my profits. So locked in a little more. So earlier it was at like 525. I'm now at 875 in profit. So sort of double or almost double. Yeah, I mean, there's my profit so far. So I'm probably up about like 20,000 now so far across all of my accounts. So this is the first set of accounts here. The hedge accounts and some of the profit accounts in my personal account. And then over here, we have the rest of them. So 875 per account, 770, 735, 95, 105, etc. There's kind of all over the place. These are the hedge accounts. So like the hedge accounts, I think they just kind of racked up fees because there were like so many trades I took this week. I think 4 or 5 trades. So unfortunately, they racked up a couple fees here. They're like basically at break even. But gross profits for the day are positive, of course. So I mean, we'll see. Maybe I could find one more entry and then I'll bring those back into profit for the week. But other than that, all of the other accounts are in profit. So let's see what happens here next. So we got price pushing up. I mean, we might get an MPS V2 to the upside right here, but the problem is we have all these red flags. So I'm not really sure if we're going to be able to get something like that here. I guess we'll see. Let's see. Barack said, Sean, just a suggestion. Can you check the candle before the entry candle close and measure the wick bottom of the hammerish candle? Which one? This one right here? Barack, you want me to just the wick, right? You just want to measure the wick. Okay, so it was about 18 points. The thing is, it kind of depends on like where your entry was, because if your entry was a little higher, like for me, I entered like at the 1 second of this candle. So my entry was like a little bit higher. So it actually would have hit the 20. So it's all about the execution, right? If you enter like a second before, your entry would be here because this came down at the last second. So I was like pretty much waiting for it to like close, and as soon as it closed at that 1 second mark, I hit sell, and I was in the position a little bit higher. So I mean, it kind of depends on your entry. Like if you got in like a second higher or like you got in a second lower, that could have been, but it was like exactly at the 18 to 20 points right there. Yeah, Christian said no for me, especially when the Fed speaking is like when Powell speaks and the market goes crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened right here, Christian, right? Because the Fed started speaking here at 7:30. So as soon as this candle came down, the Fed spoke here at 7:30, and that's probably what caused price here to kind of spike back and forth like this, which always causes a mess in the market. That's why I typically don't like to trade when there's stuff like that going on. I mean, also looking at this here, price is in a heavy consolidation range. I also don't like trading when price is doing this either. Right, we had heavy consolidation range over here on open or pre-market up until open. And then again, right here, price came down slightly, and then now it's back in a heavy consolidation range again. A lot of fake outs in both directions. That's a smart move, Christian. Very, very smart move. Yeah, so Christian said he closed as Ninja Trader, no FOMO. I mean, you did pretty good so far, Christian, right? Your overall profits for the day should be green. I'm assuming they'd be green by now, or should be overall. Yeah, so that's good. Be satisfied and happy with your profits and keep continuing what you're doing. That's what we talked about yesterday. It's really about consistency. It's being able to be disciplined, understanding when the market's like moving or not moving in your favor, and understanding when to close that Ninja Trader, because it's that one trade that can really screw you up. That one trade will like it'll screw you up. If you take that one trade and it loses, and your whole trade psychology and your mindset's all messed up, because then you're gonna be mad at yourself. You especially don't want to screw up on Friday, because then you're gonna be mad at yourself the whole weekend, right? You're probably gonna be on the charts all weekend trying to understand and figure out what you did wrong. When in reality, it was just, you should just have not taken that trade. So sometimes, it's a tough pill to swallow, but that's just really what it is sometimes. It's like your setup wasn't there, the market was consolidating, it doesn't really show who's in control, buyers or sellers, and then you still took the trade. That's like the worst. It's the worst when everything points, like it tells you not to trade, but you still take it, and then you're just mad at yourself. But it happens. I mean, that's just how it is. All right, so right here we have a double body rejection. This could be a possible reversal back to the upside. So from this lower point right here, trying to see if there's any other confirmation, but from this lower point right here, looks like the buyers may have swung back in control. We have a double body rejection right here. If this is the case and price continues to climb up higher, then we have confirmation that the buyers are in control. However, if price pushes down and it invalidates this low right here, then the buyers are not in control. This is actually really tricky because we have double bodies in both directions. So we had price push up from here. We have a double body right here. But then we also have a double body right here, right? So the sellers are like, nope. They push price up. They're like, we're going to try to push price up higher. And they're like, no, we're going to push price right back down. So if this is the case and this here, it validates this low, which it just did, the buyers are not in control. Sellers are still in control from this point here. From this point, we had an engulfing. That was a reversal pattern. That was the first initiation of price to come down. Then we had another one right here with our entry. Another engulfing. Price pushed up, reversal, reversal. Three setups right there. Nice. Sam actually took that V1 there for a sell. Nice work, Sam. Played out perfect. Let's see. Barack said, I messed up my Apex 150 Rhythmic account yesterday, blew it. I was trading remotely from a tablet, but I think the connection on my PC was messy. My wife had warned me to let it slide, especially because it was after 9 a.m. And I'm like, I know, Barack, those are the worst, right? Even your mom, even your wife told you, like, Barack, don't do it, and you still did it. But it's okay. It's part of the game, Brock. Eventually you're gonna get burned enough times where you're like, okay, I should listen next time. And that's what I do. That's like what happened with me, right? You just have to improve from your mistakes. Understand your mistakes. I would recommend, Brock, keep a journal, right? Or just have a spreadsheet. If you want to use my journal, you can go to the Discord here, go to official live trades, and then just get the blank template of the journal. And then from this here, just put it in your notes, right? Like, I made a bad trade here. Everyone was telling me not to trade and I still traded. And then maybe in the future, you'll remember that and you'll prevent yourself from getting caught in that same issue. So. Yeah, so it sounds like everything was off with you that day. Brock says his mouse kind of lags sometimes. And then also his ATM was off. So those are a lot of things to note. I think what I would put in a situation like that, or for your notes for that day, Brock, is that you took a trade unprepared. I think that's probably going to be the best thing for you. It's not that you screwed up, you're just unprepared. Your mouse screwed up, you weren't paying attention. It was past 9 o'clock. That's probably like the best thing you can do. So in the future, you'll be more prepared. Like for me, when I get out on these lives every morning, guys, I have everything set up. I got my laptop, got my mouses. I make sure my mouses are charged. I got my Zoom ready. I got everything set up properly. So, and if one thing is off, like if I'm feeling sleepy, if I'm feeling lazy, if I'm not entwined with the market, then I just don't trade. Or I try to, I try to avoid entries when I'm not 100% there. So guys, we have a momentum signal right here. If we get a retracement, this could be a possible MPS V2. I don't know if I'll be taking it. We're getting kind of close to the end of the market, 8 o'clock. What I started to see, guys, and a lot of people have messaged me about this too, the MPS V2s actually work very well after the live session time. Like it usually kind of dies out a little bit, but I've kind of been testing the entries, and I'm starting to see that the strategy actually works very well outside the live session time. Like if I was to trade this all day, there would be almost like, 12 to 20 entries. So maybe at some point in the future, I'll probably just stay on a little bit longer. Like maybe I'll just spend a whole day taking these entries. And we'll kind of see, we'll kind of see what happens from there. But for the most part, it's just something to keep in mind. If you guys do want to trade after 8 o'clock, I do see these entries hit after 8 o'clock. And it's typically when the market sucks during like our live session time. So if the market sucks during live session time, then I think it's okay to trade after. So we have an engulfing candle right here, guys. The buyers might be back in control at this point. This is a very big engulfing candle. Huge engulfing candle right here. Otherwise, this might be an MPS V2. If this candle closes red, this could be an MPS V2 entry. I'm not going to take it. I think this is kind of a tricky entry because you're having a reversal happening right here. I don't like having reversals popping up right before the entry. Unless this is another engulfing. So if we get an engulfing and another engulfing right here, this is another story. Yeah, Barack's new rule: no trading away from a station, no tablets, log off CTrader and FTMO, and MT5. Yeah, it's definitely better that way, Barack. I don't trade on my phone at all. I only trade at my trading station. It's the only time I take trades. Okay, so there's no engulfing here, but this is an MPS V2 if anybody is looking to take it. So this right here is an MPS V2. I'm not going to take it, of course. Like I said, there's a reversal pattern right here. So it just doesn't meet my criteria. It's just too tricky. You don't want to fade your own trade, right? Like you don't want to take a trade when the reversal happens here. And if you guys don't understand that term fading is just going opposite of like whatever your analysis is. And this is probably going to hit, and it did. Solid entry right there. So what I was just saying is fading just means that you're going against your analysis, right? Or you're going against someone else's analysis. Like say, for example, if Sam's like, hey, I'm going to take some buys here. And you're like, no, I'm going to take some sells. You're fading Sam. But if you're taking sells and Sam's like, oh, I'm going to take buys, then Sam is fading you. So that's just a term that I've been using the term for a long time. It's just become more popular because certain traders use it now. But fading is just going opposite of whatever, whether it be your analysis, whether it be someone else's analysis. Typically, you don't want to fade your own analysis. And then if someone fades you, you want to fade them because you want your analysis to play out. Let's see. CJ said trading on a tablet or phone doesn't go right either for me either. That's why I never trade on them. Good to know I'm not cursed and it happens to other people. Yeah. It's crazy. There's like one person who only trades on her phone, Natasha. She's not here, but she's always away for work. She's like in the military. So she can only trade on her phone and her internet connection sucks sometimes, but she does good. She's the only person I know who trades good on her phone. I don't know how she does it, but she does it. Yeah, I think she's the only person I've seen who does well like that. Sam said, OMG, saw that move. He's done. Nice. Hopefully you locked in a lot of profit off that because this thing did come down pretty far from this V1. So that V1 variation right there, if you took it from that point, it came down like, 75 points right there. Nice big drop to the downside. And it went in the direction of trend, so that was good. It was also rejecting off liquidity here. So this V1 variation is actually a really good V1 variation entry because I turn on the liquidity right here. It rejected directly off liquidity. It also rejected off the pivot. They came down super sharp from there. Today's actually a really good trading day, guys. We have a lot of entries here that came up. We had we had the MPS V2, we had MPS V2, another MPS V2. We had a V1 variation right here. This is like a legit V1 variation because it had the pending momentum, plus the trend was bearish. CG said faded also means defeated by an alcoholic beverage or losing in a battle of fist cuffs. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of meaning to fading, but in that's funny. I never thought about that. Yeah, I'm faded, defeated by an alcoholic beverage. That's good. That's solid, CJ. It's funny that you mentioned that. But yeah, a lot of meanings to it. I think we might be done for the day, guys. It's 7:51 right now. This intro right here just hit. I kind of wish I took it, but I'm glad I didn't because I didn't feel super comfortable about it. But you can see over here that the sellers are, I mean, they're still fighting back. The buyers here are trying to push price up, but the sellers are still, they still have their push. So the main reason I wouldn't have taken this here for a for MPSV2 is because of this reversal right here. So I'm just playing my cards smart. I'm not taking anything that's too risky. Like if I see some sort of reversal happening, I'm not going to go in that direction, obviously. And you can see here the reversal is playing through. So the reversal here is still playing through. It's just this MPS hit, even though the reversal is pushing up. Yeah, Sam said for me, price did not even break 1 minute structure for buy, so sitting in a sell until it gets bullish. About to say the same. Thanks, gang, for today. Happy weekend too. Yeah, definitely, Sam. I mean, at this point, the buyers are trying to push price up. I don't see any other reversal patterns here. So I'm kind of I'm like hanging around trying to see if there's any other reversal patterns here that could maybe push price up to confirm. Because if that's the case and price pushes up higher, then maybe I'll take one more buy here. But we'll see. Let me clean this up. I'm gonna take these reversals off because that's pretty much done with. It looks like this consolidation price actually never broke out of it, guys. It just faked out a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Sam said it can be a reversal as liquidity sweep happened. Yeah, exactly. It swept this liquidity right here and this one down here actually. Two liquidities. We got more liquidity sitting up here too. It's damn, look at this huge candle. What is going on? I'm done trading for today for sure. What the That's a huge candle. The hell? I don't know what happened. Let's check the news. Any updates? I don't know, but this candle is, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be done. This is a 211 point candle right here. The crazy thing is that there's no big contracts that or no, there is big contracts that are flooding in, but I don't see. 74, 54. That's like a black hole trade. I don't see any I mean, I did see some sellers here, but not enough to dump price like that. Damn. This thing is dumping great. I'm looking at the time and sales. There's like no evidence here. There's like nothing here showing that like any sell orders actually came in. Like this is obviously a market maker institution pushing price down because this sell here wasn't recorded in the time and sales. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I see big contracts here, but I don't see enough to dump price like that. I saw a 27 contract, a 12 contract, a 16 contract. That's such a crazy drop right there. Yeah, I think that's my cue. That's my cue to wrap it up for the day. Yeah, Sam said the power of the V1. Was that a V1 right there, Sam? Almost. But I mean, if anything, that V1 came from the previous one that happened. Where was it at? It was somewhere over here. Another one I marked up earlier. But yeah, that's a crazy spike to the downside. Yeah, Christian said, have a good weekend, guys. What a crazy, for everyone that has experienced Fed speaking, that's what happens. Yeah. I'm assuming the Fed said something that caused price to dump like that. CJ said, well, I'm definitely taking my profits and running. Don't want to mess up my good trades for the week. I agree. Christian said, Fed words are red flags, 100%. CJ said the spread jumped to 4 points too. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the spread right now. The spread is really high, guys. It's 4 points, where it's 5 points now. Looking at the spread right now, 4 points right here, 4 to 5 points, which is extremely high. This means that people are having trouble getting out of their positions. So the market is illiquid right now. It's because there's just too much, like this big drop happened, and then people are kind of panicking. So there's a bunch of people trying to get out of their positions or getting stopped out, and that's why the spread, like the slippage right now must be crazy. Or not anymore, but it was, I'm pretty sure, on this candle here. Because you could only imagine, like the people who are chasing the buys here, because we had this reversal pattern, right? The people who are chasing the buys right here, I mean, they just got demolished because this thing dropped 200 points within like seconds, 300 points almost within seconds. So you got to think about it. If your stop loss was like, I feel bad for the people who had their stop losses like right here, because if your stop loss was right here, you probably lost a lot more money because price spiked down. It would have traded your stop loss, and you probably would have gotten out like down here, which is like how many points? That's crazy slippage. That's like 60 points. You basically would have lost like 4 times your position. I don't think this happened though. I don't think, obviously, I think all the stop losses got triggered, and then it was a domino effect. Price came down, people got stopped out, got liquidated, and then it just dropped even further. Oh, nice. Aiden said she said, wow, had a sell stop at 705 and caught 30 points on that unexpected drop. Yeah, that's another thing too. So she had her sell stop right here just hanging out, 705. Triggered it and came down super nice. I'm pretty sure you made more profit on that too. Because I'm pretty sure if you hit your TP, it would have blasted through, you would have blocked out it even more. Nice. All right, guys. So it's a pretty good trading day today. Hopefully nobody got caught on the wrong side of the market here. Hoping a lot of you guys here made some profit on this, not just this drop, but just today in general and this week in general. Today, this was a pretty good week, guys. We only had one loss this week. The loss was my fault. So I took one loss on, I think, Monday or Tuesday, but it was my fault. I entered a trade that didn't actually close where it was supposed to. And then I held on to it longer than I needed to. So that was my bad. So if you guys, I mean, we only had one loss. So we had one loss and about I think 4 or 5 wins this week. The breakouts for this week were positive. So if you took any of the breakouts, or if you took all the breakouts this week, it was a win on Monday. Let me see. It was a win on Monday, loss on Tuesday, loss on Wednesday, win on Thursday, and then a win again today for 50 points. So it was pretty solid. All right, guys, I think that's it for the day. I don't want to get lured into maybe trying to squeeze in one more trade. It's already 8 o'clock anyway, so it's getting to my time. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a great weekend, guys. We had a pretty good trading week. I think 4 or 5 wins and then 1 loss. Here are my profits for the day. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Looking at my profits for the day, I locked in about 875 per Apex account. So that's like 875 times 20. So 17,000, and then obviously my Tradeify account. So I'm just going to estimate it to about 20,000 for the day in profits, gross profits. About 17,500 for Apex, and then maybe another couple thousand for Tradeify, another couple thousand for the hedge accounts, and maybe a couple $100 for the Purdy account. So pretty solid day, pretty solid week. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend, guys. If you don't have to be on the charts, just take a break if you need to. I think this week was very draining. So I think next week you want to come back fresh, and then we'll see if there's anything else for us to look for. I don't think there's much on the news for next week. We have Powell speaking on Tuesday, so that'll be crazy. We got CPR on Wednesday. So we do have high impact news events next week. So just be ready for another jam-packed week of news and crazy volatility. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. I'll see you guys back here on Monday. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys then. See ya.